Record Store Day. Video number 10,583. That's probably hit the vinyl community. I'm going to give you my picks. And there's reasons why I'm picking these. And the thought process that I'm putting into this, I'm trying to be much smarter on Record Store Day. And I'm going to share with you what I'm doing. I'm trying to make better decisions for Record Store Day. Also, I've included a playlist. So the items that I've chosen, the albums that I have said, this is what I'm going to get, there'll be an attached playlist. So check that out. Feel free to look at some of these if they're interesting you. If you're interested, take a listen to them. I've listened. That one of the reasons why they're chosen is I really like the way they sounded. But there's some more to this also. So let's just begin. Record Store Day, the list is out there. Everyone's seen it. If you're no records, you've seen it. You get it, okay? It's a fun time. At first, I looked at the list. I didn't see much. And go, oh, whatever, a couple. As I've looked at it more, I've found quite a bit more. And there's, you know what? If I just took that, I could probably take 20, 30 albums that I really want. But here's how I'm looking at this before I get into my picks. First off, quite a few of the albums are Record Store Day first. That means they're going to come out later. Why bother fighting or at one time dropping a lot of money at one day when I am going to be able to pick them up later and at a more casual pace? Instead of putting them all there together in basket. It doesn't make sense to me. I used to do that, I just, I got to get them. Look at this pile. I mean, and I could spend $500, $600, $700 on Record Store Day. That was 10 years ago or so. That's changed quite a bit in life. But it was just the pure excitement of it all, especially when you're first in line every year. So now I looked at a lot of these. I do have some Record Store Day first that I did choose, just because I want to get them early. But for the most part, I did not. There was a lot of blues. This is probably the most blues I've seen. There you had Muddy Waters, you had Howlin' Wolf, B.B. King. I mean, there was all kinds of no, I can't think. There was a lot of blues men, and that was nice to see. But the Record Store Day first. Do I really need them? Willie Dixon was the one. He had an album out, and I have that one already, so why get a Record Store Day one? Also, reggae. I thought there was more reggae than I've seen it forever. Quite a bit of reggae, which was interesting, but it just comes down to what do I really need to have? So I did spend a lot of time really looking at each of these entries on here, pulling it up, looking at samples, and here's the other thing. I checked Discogs on this stuff, and I'll give you kind of what I found out. There's a lot of albums. You know what? They're on Record Store Day, and you're going to pay $30, $40. If you go on Discogs, you can get an OG probably, for $20 near mint. Well, gee whiz. Why not to go that route instead of going this other way? So, you know what? You may not do Discogs. That may not be your thing. You want to get it, and that's great. Record Store Day is fun. It's about excitement. If it's what you want to get. So you're just hearing one person's opinion. So let's just begin with my list. And the most important one on there, but it was only, it's just a Record Store Day. It's a first, so you're going to see more. And sorry, I'm using my iPad here to kind of find some of these, okay, as we go through, so I can show you a picture. I just do this off the camera, so you get what you pay for when it comes to me. But the first one is Miles Davis, and it is from it's some unreleased rare vinyl from Around the Corner. And that's what you have. On the Corner is one of his fusion. It's great. It's funky. It's a wonderful album. These are unreleased tracks. Do I need this? No. Why? This is every unreleased track from On the Corner. This is a really hard to get CD box set that I bought a number of years ago, and I spent years looking for this thing. So what's coming on vinyl I already have. Isn't that neat? Even the inside, they have stuff. Look at that trumpet in there. That is so dang cool. But Miles Davis is one of the few people that more of a completist, and I want, and I like this on vinyl. So because of that, I said, you know what, I will go ahead and, and get this. And there's 5,700 of them, so it shouldn't be that hard. It is a first. If you don't get it, don't worry. It's coming back out, and you will have it. But, it's from 1973, the original On the Corner. This thing came out in 2007, but this is just the coolest thing. So that's why I'm getting that one. But now let's get into some stuff that's a little more rare that might be harder to find. And so what I did is we're going to go to the first one. This is called Flash and the Dynamics. Isn't that a cool sounding? Flash and the Dynamics. And this is what the album looks like. The name of the album is called The New York Sound. Flash and the Dynamics did one album in 1971. And it is, again, it's a first release. There's going to be 2,500 of them. When you go on to Discogs, if you want an original of this, it's going to be, the medium price is $61. It goes all the way up to $100. This is your average, pricing on there. So what I buy on Record Store Day is going to be much cheaper than me going on to Discogs and trying to buy a used album. Again, you can hear this on the playlist, but what it is, it's Latin music, but it's funky. It is really funky. It's soulful, psychedelic. There's distorted guitars mixed in with the Latin melodies. It is so neat, just filled with funky rhythms and very soulful, wonderful music. Something different. And so take a listen to that playlist on this thing and see what you think. There's only 2,500 of them, like I said, and so I hope that I can pick up one of them, but I'm really excited about that one. And again, it becomes a good deal. The one I'm most excited about is from a group called Marble Frog. Yeah, isn't that a cool name? There we go. Marble Frog. They only put out one album. It's a psych band out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and this is the album that they put out in 1968. It's an exclusive, so it's not being reprinted. Now, this is on green vinyl. It could come out later on black vinyl. The green vinyl is exclusive. Can still do black vinyl, and I wouldn't be surprised on that. But there's 1,500 of them. It says, the legendary among psych record collectors for decades, the lone LP from the Tulsa, Oklahoma Marble Frog is finally getting a legitimate reissue. What is interesting is they do the cover versions from Jimi Hendrix, Queen, Iron Butterfly, Steppenwolf, Rolling Stones, The Byrds, Donovan, plus 2 originals. It's fantastic. Take it again to the playlist on there. If you go on to Discogs and you want to buy Marble Frog, it's never been re-released. You're going to pay medium price on Discogs is $725. The high price is $799. So not a lot of difference there. But that's how rare this is. That's the kind of stuff that gets me excited about Record Store Day. I mean, I'm not going to buy it if it's not in my wheelhouse, but that is. And it's just something that's really rare out there and be fun to get. So that is a big one on my list. Probably after Miles Davis, it goes to Marble Frog. And yeah, what a great name. There it is, Marble Frog. Fantastic. So from there, let's go over to, there was another one. This one, maybe not so much. As I've been, you kind of think about some of these after a while and you go, is it going to be right? It's from Larry Coryell, and it's called Introducing the 11th House. This is what it looks like. Real nice packaging. Isn't that beautiful? And so what this is, it's classic from the Godfather of Fusion. Just make sure an offer you can't refuse. This is the first studio album from the 11th House, which is the name of the group, which is a jazz fusion group from the 70s, and is led by guitarist Larry Coryell. So deluxe package, swirly vinyl. It sounds really interesting. There's 1,500 of them. This was originally released in 1974. But here's why I might not get it. On Discogs, you can get one of these. You can get an original from anywhere from $4.50 all the way up to 20 bucks. That's the spread from the medium price to the high price, $4.50 to 20. So I can get one with really cool vinyl for probably in the 30s, or I can go get an original. See what I mean? I like it, but is it really worth it? I don't think so. So I, kind of took that one off my list. All right, next looking at this. This was one, Joel Strummer, Streetcore. Joe Strummer and the Mescaleros. And there we go. That's what the album looks like. This is so do-it-yourself, isn't it? This is the 20th anniversary of this album. It came out in 2003, limited edition pressing. It is a record store day exclusive. There's only 1,760 of these. It came out on vinyl for the first time. I believe you can get black vinyl version in 2012. There was some colored varieties that came out earlier. The price goes anywhere from a medium of $30 up to $95. So this is a good deal. I feel good that, hey, I'm getting something. I love Strummer. I love the Mescaleros. I love the music that they did. Here is something that if I went to Discogs, I believe the lowest price one they had out there was $55 right now. This becomes a better deal for me to get that music. So I'm kind of excited about that. And plan to get it. Now, let's get into something else really neat that is one of these fascinating ones. Okay, let me find, nope, got to go down one more. So it was, as you dig through these, I'm just always looking for something. What is that? I don't know what it is. Here it is, Galt McDermott. Look at that. Galt McDermott wrote Hair, did the music for Hair. Well, this is a soundtrack, and there's this is a first. Again, this is a first. Did 1,750. There'll be 1,750s out there. It's called a quirky instrumental album created as the soundtrack to a film about a fashion designer. Loved by hip-hop samplers. This is one of the first. It's been used by like Jay Dilla. It has funk and filled with rare grooves, cool drumming. I pulled up a couple samples of this thing. So, God, this thing is so neat. It is just funk fun. And just this crazy soundtrack. So it's a first 1750, but it has me completely interested. If you were to go online to find it, you would pay anywhere from a medium of $245 up to $500. Going to be a lot cheaper this way. So if you like funk and if you like samples, and for those of you, the hip hop people, you cannot go wrong if you get this. I mean, you're just going to be absolutely delighted to have it. All right, moving along to the next one. And it's, let me find him here. Okay, it's Rich Kids. Rich Kids is a punk group, and it had Glenn Matlock. After he got kicked out from the Sex Pistols, he did this with Midge Ure. The Midge guy. They formed the group Rich Kids, and they only put out one album called Ghost in Princess Tower. Actually, there might have been a second one. It came out in '78. That's what it looks like. Now, you can pick this up from anywhere from a medium of $21 up to $74. So it is available out there, but it's harder to find some of these punk albums. Is this a absolutely incredible punk album? It is not. But if you like 70s punk, you'll find all his Rich Kids in compilations, fairly popular. So to me, it's worth looking at, and we're going to try to pick that one up and see what we can find that. A couple other things. Oh, this here. This is going to be one I don't think I'm going to be able to get, but we will share it because I did put a sample out there on it for you to listen to. And the name of the group is called Wild Country. And here. Wild Carnation. Wild Carnation. And the name of the album is called Tricycle. Wild Carnation and Tricycle. They only did one album. This came out in 1993. This is a regional one, so it's only in select markets, and there's only 500 of them. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this. It's a cool group. It's melodic, jangly guitars, beautiful hooks, and it's never been on vinyl, only on CD. And so it's kind of sad there's only 500, but yet it's a group no one really knows about. And so just digging into this, I find it can't even get you a price on vinyl because it's never been on vinyl. But for those that like that jangle guitar sound, you think back to the Byrds, but also just, how pop rock was happening in the 90s. This is a perfect album. Very enjoyable listen. Again, check out the samples of that and see what you think. Another one I'm looking at is Chet, mono. I'm not sure if it's been done in mono before. There's 6,500 of them, so there's plenty out there. Done in 59. Kevin Gray, did it. That's going to be very popular. There's some cool box sets. They did the Nuggets box set. I bet that thing cost $1 billion. I have it in CD. If it's the same thing, I don't need it in vinyl, but it would be cool to have to get that whole Nuggets box set. There's also one called Behind the Dikes, and it's Dutch psych bands. Look at Dutch psych bands. There's 34 different tracks on there, and it takes from the late 60s to the early 70s Dutch psych, which they had a great, there was a lot going on there in the Netherlands. So well worth, again, something to dig into. And if I find that, I'd be more than happy to pick that up. So that's what I'm looking at. For me, when I go in now, it's more, what are originals? So instead of putting a bunch of money into the record store day stuff, it's like, can I get a cool original of something? And I'm always looking for that. Is there something, that I really like, a grail that's out there? Instead of dropping $200, maybe I can get that one album that will mean a lot to me. There's a lot of live albums. Quite honestly, I bought those in the past, and I listened to them. I like them, and I never play them again. They'll sit there, and I've really tried to look at that and try to decide, will I play this again? Which is why I pulled up samples on these albums. Says, yes, I will play that one. I really, really like that. But other ones, it's just, it might be exclusive. It might be coming out later. But am I just spending money for something that's going to take up space, which I really don't have because I'm getting pretty full. So that's my thoughts on Record Store Day. I'm interested in what you're looking at and what you want to get. There's some weird stuff in here, but I encourage you to check that playlist out on some of them. You just may go, I want to get that too. Just don't take mine, man. Just leave one for me. That's all I ask. So appreciate everyone for taking time to watch. It's a fun time of year. We love Record Store Day, and I hope each and every one of you have a good time. It is important. It does help it helps our mom and pop stores, though the big guys tend to take it all, but still, it's a big time of year. Thanks, everyone. Have yourself a wonderful rest of the week.